Welcome everybody. Well, who is joining us now for this online training with Vincent Ryan from the Google News Initiative. Hello, Vincent.
Hello, how's things?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good now. How are you?
We're looking forward to hearing from you and the latest tool that Google wants to present us today, Pinpoint. Are you ready?
I am indeed, yeah.
Whenever you want.
Excellent. So, hi, my name is Vincent Ryan. I work for Google News Lab. And hopefully today I'm going to introduce you to our latest tool, which is Pinpoint along with Journalist Studio. So, where is my mouse going? Here we go. So, Journalist Studio and Pinpoint. So, my name is Vincent Ryan. I'm the News Lab training manager. So my own background and everybody else who works for News Lab's background pretty much is that we are all journalists, or former journalists. I work on elevating quality journalism and I work across the curriculum for helping improve newsrooms' ability to use digital tools to help them find, verify, and tell stories online. My email address is vincentryan@google.com. If you have any thoughts about training, if you're interested in training, or if you have any thoughts about new tools that you think might be useful for journalists, please do let me know. So this is the Google News Initiative. We work to build a stronger future for journalism. We work across the 3 E's. These are elevate and strengthen quality journalism, evolve business models to drive sustainable growth, and empower news organizations through technological innovation. I see my work as being under this first E, to elevate and strengthen quality journalism. And what we're going to talk about today, Pinpoint to Journalist Studio, falls under elevating quality journalism and empowering news organizations through technological innovation, as this is the first tool that Google has built purposely for journalists. The evolved business models to drive sustainable growth is obviously an incredibly important part of Google News Initiative work. This is the work that we do around business-bound subscription models, around paywalls, and we do most of that work through what's called the Digital Growth Program. And if you're interested, I would highly recommend checking that out and signing up for some of our in-depth labs that we do there, as we want to help return the news industry to a sustainable and profitable footing. So a core part of my work is this website, g.co/news training. On it, we have a full range of courses, everything from verification through to machine learning. You can sign up, you can take them at your own time. When you finish a course, there's sometimes a little quiz and it'll give you a cert when you finish. And the goal is that these are tools which will help reporters find, verify, and tell news stories online. Hopefully we're going to have a new course coming up very, very soon. And we constantly update this site and we try to keep things as relevant to you and your work as possible, drawing upon our own experiences in the newsroom as to what will and will not work. So Journalist Studio is our attempt to group these tools together. So tools that we believe will help journalists in one place. These are tools such as the Advanced Protection Program, which will help you keep your communication secure, securing your email account, making sure that you have two-factor authentication set up. And Project Shield is another tool which secures websites, so that this makes sure that your site can't be taken down by a DDoS attack, a distributed denial of service attack, and by lending you Google servers to protect your website. Outline is another security tool. So Outline is a VPN. It's a simple 10 to 15 minute job to set it up. You can use any internet infrastructure you like, be that Amazon, be that DigitalOcean, or you could use Google Cloud, and it will give you access to a free internet anywhere in the world. Obviously, journalists are very interested in facts. So Fact Check Explorer does what it says. It allows you to explore fact-checked articles. So these are articles that we have marked using schema as being fact-checked. So that is, they're either been marked true, untrue, or partially true by one of our fact-checking partners, people like AFP or Full Fact. We use a huge number of trust indicators to figure out who we can rely on in order to include them within the Fact Check Explorer. And the Common Knowledge project is a very relatively new project that we've undertaken. At the moment, it is only in the US, and it allows you to explore and visualize local data. Again, it's powered by Schema. Hopefully, this will be being expanded to the rest of the world at some point in the near future. I can't say when yet, but one day, hopefully. Trends. I'm sure some of you are familiar with Google Trends. Google Trends is a window into what people are putting in the search box. What are people looking for? And where are they looking for it? So this can often lead to interesting stories around elections, who is the most searched for person, or even around shopping trends. What is it that the hottest toy that's being searched for at the moment? What's going to be the Black Friday deal that everyone's after tomorrow? And Flourish is our tool for making beautiful visualizations. I say our tool, it's actually developed by a company called Killen. We just partner with them. If you are interested in Flourish, go to flourish.studio/newsroom, and you can sign up for an enterprise account that we will support. It really does allow you to make the most beautiful stories you can imagine. Check out Flourish's talkies, which are infographics that have a voice track. And they play through like a video, and they are really, really beautiful. But the main reason we're here today is to talk about Pinpoint. So Pinpoint is a very, very exciting tool. So how we've arrived at developing this is one of the pain points to high quality journalism is time. The best in class journalism is always investigative. And investigative journalism takes time. It involves going through huge amounts of documents, talking to a huge amount of people, and then stitching it all together. One of the pain points of anyone who has worked in a newsroom knows is if you do an FOI request, sometimes the DHL man or the delivery man will turn up with literally phone books of documents that you may read. And then your editor may say, there's nothing in that. That is just a brief. So in order to avoid that and to help make things a little bit easier, we've made a tool that can ingest all of these documents, all this unstructured data, and make it searchable, help you make sense of it, and do it quickly. So this is what Pinpoint looks like when you sign up. You have these workspaces, and you can create collections. So it's not all of your documents dumped in at once. You can put them into little sections, and then the search area will just be for that section. So say you have 12 PDFs that are about one individual. You can make one collection about that individual, and then you will be able to search through that really, really quickly. And that's what it does. It can quickly search through lots of documents, and it will highlight particular words, people, places, and names. And we'll get to more of that. So these are the file types that it supports. It supports PDFs. It supports images, and I'll show you that. Word documents, obviously. Email archives, that's not quite obvious, but obviously they are a absolute gold mine for investigative journalists. If you can get a full email archive, you can go through someone's whole correspondence. Slideshows, PowerPoint documents, very exciting. And then MP3s. So it can create beautiful transcripts that you can then search through, and it will do it really, really quickly and really, really nicely, and help you see the bigger picture, and that's the goal. So the other thing that you can do is very few investigations are done by just a lone wolf. There tends to be a team behind all of these things. So you can share your collections with other people. You can share them with your editor. You can share them with your sub-editor. You can share them with a researcher or a collaborator, so that you can go through these together and make some notes on them, and you can all see at the same time what you're looking at. So the best thing to do here is probably to just jump out and take a look at it. So if we go into Pinpoint, this is my instance of Pinpoint, which is open. When you arrive in it, this is what it looks like. You have your workspace at the top, and then you will have some documents that are already loaded in it. So these have been provided to us by partners. They're like Document Cloud and the Center of Public Integrity. At the moment, they are all US based documents, but that doesn't mean they're not interesting. They are. There's like things like all of the JFK assassination records, which can be entertaining to go through and look at. And hopefully we will be adding more documents from other partners in the near future. But what's probably more interest is that you can create your own private collection. And this is where you can upload your own documents, be them your notes or be they documents that you get from an FOI request. So I'm just going to show you some examples. These are some NASA documents that we have that I've uploaded. and that you can search through. So when you upload them, the first thing it does is it uses the Google's knowledge graph. So Google Knowledge Graph is how Google understands the world. So this is a list of people, places, and things, and that you can search through. So we have all of the people. So obviously these are NASA documents. So one of the most mentioned people is Neil Armstrong. One of the most mentioned organizations is NASA. But at the moment, there's 1,309 documents. So let's say we want to cut that down a bit. So we'll say we're only interested in documents that feature Neil Armstrong. Let's filter that a little bit further. So we'll say Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, because he has the best name. And then you're down to suddenly 52 documents. And so that's cut it down from 1,000 to 300. And it just shows you documents that mention those two people. So if we click into this one, we see here we have Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin, because Google knows that Edwin Aldrin is Buzz Aldrin. So it doesn't have to be the exact same phrase. It understands synonyms. So I'll show you that synonym feature as well. If we go in here and we type in, say, moon. Obviously, this is NASA. There's going to be a lot of mentions of the moon. But it will give you, we're going to remove Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin as well. It will not only return instance of moon, but also lunar, because lunar is a synonym for moon. So it works in not just exactly the word you're looking for, but if a synonym is used within those documents, it will also return that, which makes it extremely powerful for searching through documents. And not only does it work for like simply nicely typed letters, but if we say, let's see, if I put in stdn and we put in here, it's going to return this picture. Now, as you can see, this file type here is JPEG. So this is an image. So if I click on this image and I search for the letters stdn, and if you look closely there, above this guy's computer in mission control somewhere in NASA, it says stdn. And Pinpoint can look through all of the pictures, and it can find that in this picture, it has the letters stdn, and so it will return that, which is cool. But what if there are an awful lot of scribbles, not a lot of unstructured data, a lot of stuff written in handwriting on your notes, and you're thinking that might be where the story is actually hidden? So if I put it in Loomis State, this one. And here we have a document. But as we see down here in handwriting, not flat, but at an angle, it has the word state. So I typed in Loomis, with Henry Loomis, who's the acting director, and then state. And Pinpoint can find the word state written in that document in his handwriting, completely unstructured. And it uses basically Google's vision, cloud vision, to pull that out, transcript it into type, and then understand it as letters, which is pretty cool. So they are some of the things you can do. Oh, the final little trick. If we're going to put in Bob code. Here we have an MP3. So MP3 is an audio file. So this was a recording that was uploaded to Pinpoint. And when it is uploaded to Pinpoint, it converts it into a transcript. And in this transcript, you can see what's written out, or you can click play, and 3 seconds in,
Commander Bob code.
It says Bob code. And it will play through that whole file, but it just highlights instances of the word Bobco, 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 because that's what we were searching for, which is basically the audio transcription. At the moment, it works very, very well in English and also okay in Spanish. That we will be adding additional languages early next year. Can't tell you exactly when, but we're doing an awful lot of work to make sure that the language transcription function is as accurate and good as it can possibly be. And so that is some of it. So the next thing to have a quick look at is some stories that have been done with Pinpoint. So we can show, like, this works. It has worked for other newsrooms. So these are some examples. Here is one from the USA Today, who focused on what is the world's biggest story at the moment. which is obviously coronavirus, and they used Pinpoint to have a look at where
the biggest challenge for reporting, honestly, is time, right? It's really difficult to say no when somebody wants you to look into something that you believe is important, but you just don't have the time to do it. My colleague Tricia Nadolny and I were asked to handle investigations relating to social services during the pandemic. Our focus really became largely about nursing homes during that time period. We requested records from all 50 states, and I uploaded them into Pinpoint. Pretty much immediately when you upload documents and that site populates with a list of names that are included or places that are included, you can kind of very quickly get an idea of what is in there. We compiled that into a database that we then analyzed and provided to the public. For the first time, some families were able to look up their loved one's assisted living facility and see whether there had been a case, because in some states and in some counties, facilities were not communicating directly with families in a way where they felt like they understood what was going on. In terms of investigative journalism, our job is to expose wrongdoing, to shed light on something that's going wrong in the hopes that maybe it can go in a better direction.
And that was the USA Today and how they used it to do a big investigation into the instances. And they made it local. So by uploading all of the documents, they were able to let readers look for local care homes and see if there were what the instance of coronavirus was in the local care homes, which was something that wasn't happening on a national level in the US. So this was kind of very much public interest journalism. Another person of high note is Maria Ressa, who some of you might be familiar with, who's a journalist from the Philippines. And she used Pinpoint to look through all of the CIA's cables in the 1970s and came up with an incredible story that about the Marcos family and their links with the CIA. And she then included that on her newsletter. She also used Pinpoint, which is very interesting, to take all of her notes that she'd ever had as a journalist and upload them all in Pinpoint, so that she would be able to very quickly access anything she has ever written about somebody in the past, and she can just search through it so that she doesn't, anything she forgot, she can go to her notes really, really quickly, just click on them and be like, about this person. So if there's a news story around them, she can look at all of her old notes instantly in Pinpoint and be able to recall all the old reporting and to add some color. This was Hearst Media Group, who used Pinpoint to upload a huge number of the civil litigation cases that were taken against these boys and girls clubs in America, to track the basically the behavior of sexual abuse and predator and how they were being dealt with by these organizations, and it let them find more victims than had initially been thought to be around. Again, the Center for Public Importance, they used it to look at the ICE, the border police's use of, or basically a failure to protect people around coronavirus in New Mexico. The Boston Globe have used Pinpoint on a number of occasions. This was using the synonym ability of Pinpoint, so they didn't know exactly what they were looking for within all of the police department's procurement documents. So they were able to look for basically different words like around military equipment. So it, instead of gun, might not have returned the correct thing because obviously the Boston police are going to be buying guns, but if it returns machine gun and shotgun and lots of different instances and synonyms of that word, they were able to quickly trace through what was and wasn't normal in their the Boston police's accusation of basic military weaponry, and it was part of the a series investigating the militarization of US police forces. And the Washington Post, this was another quite novel use case. And during Mueller's deposition, they had Pinpoint and all of the documents uploaded. So during their live blog coverage, they were able to very quickly go to the page and to the exact sector that was being either asked about or that the cross-examination was referring to, and they were able to add that into their coverage instantly and be on the exact page where the source documents were taking everything for as if they were in the room straight away, which was a really, really good use case. The Baltimore Sun, again, this is another different use case. So this is around a holiday. So by looking at historical documents, they were able to look at, I think it was on Martin Luther King Day that they published this. So they were able to look at what was said about Martin Luther in Baltimore in the past and how he had been treated. And it was quite a nice investigation to go with that holiday. And Verificado in Mexico, and they use Pinpoint to fact check the president's live TV broadcasts. And then because it creates a transcript, they can compare the Pinpoint transcript to the transcript that's officially released by the government and to check which is more accurate. And they're also able to see exactly what's said, search it, and fact check it in real time, which is a really cool use. And that's kind of where we are with Pinpoint. So I would encourage you all to sign up. So you have to go to g.co/Pinpoint. And there may be a 1-2 day delay before you will have access to the tool. But if you're with a news organization, you will get access. And we would like to hear your feedback on it. And so if you have any questions about it, you can contact Pinpoint support, or you can contact me, or you can contact NewsLab support, all at google.com. And we look forward to seeing what you do with the tool. And that is kind of it. And if you have any other stories you would like to tell or things to investigate, I would highly recommend looking at g.co/news training, where you can explore our courses. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for your time as well. Thank you.
Excellent.
We have one question from Umar Hassan. Umar asks, yeah, let me show you. Yeah, Umar asks, how accurate is the transcription in the MP3 file in the Pinpoint?
I won't say it's 100% accurate, but it is as accurate as we can possibly make it. We are constantly working on improving it. It can tell the difference between, and this is quite amazing, if you were to refer to Hoover Dam, as in the water dam, it will spell it D-A-M. Whether if you were to say dam, it will understand that that's you using giving out, and it will spell it D-A-M-N. So it is fairly incredibly accurate, but I won't say it's perfect, because as soon as I say that, somebody will find a flaw.
It's still work in progress.
Just about. Nothing is ever finished.
True. So thank you so much, Vincent, for being here today with us and presenting Pinpoint to our News Data audience. Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon again.